that happens, you start looking around to the sky, wondering when the hammer is just going to drop out and smash on your head.
It's Ryan, aka Way to Cheese, aka the biggest fish in the 1-2 Las Vegas pond. I am here again for Taking Vegas episode 6. And what I wanted to talk to you today about is taking shots. Taking shots is something that every live poker player is going to have the desire to do from time to time. It doesn't have to be like jumping up several levels. It's generally going to be just the level right above yours. By taking shots, it means that generally your bankroll isn't necessarily accommodating of those stakes, but you're getting there and you feel confident and comfortable and you're winning the stakes you're in, and you want to experiment and see if the next stakes up is the same way to you or if it just blows you away. A couple things to remember here about taking shots. First of all, if you're severely underrolled for the stakes that you're at, then it's too soon to be thinking about taking shots. And the reason for that is a couple bad runs while taking shots can wipe you out completely. The other thing is you have to realize it's a temporary thing that you're trying for 1 or 2 sessions. If you win and do well, you can sort of keep stabbing at them, but as soon as you take a hit, you got to be ready to drop back down to the stakes you were in and be comfortable and be happy there. Some people have an issue where as soon as they go up in stakes at all, it's mostly an ego thing. They can't bring themselves to drop back down to the stakes they were in before, even if their bankroll takes a big hit and it dictates doing that. And what happens is that just blows up their risk of ruin and they usually go bust. A good rule of thumb for taking shots is to save about 10 to 15% of your profits per week in the stakes you're in. And if you're crushing it and winning, that little side thing is going to start building up and start building up. And then finally, when you feel like it's a comfortable amount, usually around 3 or 4 buy-ins for the stake level above you, then you can jump right in those games and not be directly risking your regular bankroll. And what you do is if you blow through that extra one, that's alright. You start rebuilding it again with your 10 or 15%. If you run good, I don't recommend you roll all that back into your shot bankroll. I recommend you take that 80 or 90% of profit, put it into your regular bankroll for future use, and then just go back to saving the 10 or 15%. And like I said, very important, don't be too proud to drop back down. I've been really motivated and pumped up lately and just have a lot of energy to play, and so I'm ready to get down to the strip and get some volume in right now.
I can't really make a video called Taking Shots and then just go play the normal 1-2. So I'm going to go jump in a 1-3 500 cap game for you guys, and we'll see where it goes from there. I always park on the roofs at casinos, and there's a couple reasons for that. One time when I first moved here, I lost my car in the MGM garage. I had played a 27-hour session. It took me over an hour to find my car. That garage is huge. The other reason is I just really like the view. Third reason, I guess, is that if I have a good night, I feel a little more elated when I come up in the open air and see the Las Vegas lights and stuff. And if I have a bad night, I still feel better. When I come up here, it just helps me put it into perspective a little bit, and it just doesn't seem so bad. The only 500 cap 1-3 game going that I wanted to play tonight would have been at the new Wynn Room, and right after the new room opened, I had a little falling out over there by losing $1,200, mostly from getting it in crazy ahead. It's not a huge loss, but just maybe a little bit gun shy on the place, and I actually haven't gone back since they opened. And so here we are tonight at the Aria. We're going to jump in the 1-3 here. It is a $300 buy-in, but it tends to play a little bit bigger than some of the other 1-3s. And the 1-3 games are really good here. I'm not super big on the 2-5 because it seems really competitive here. There's a lot of ego involved. A lot of regs like to call this home base, at the 2-5 level. Hey, I'll tell you what we'll do. A, if I get up 500 in the first couple hours, like really fast, and B, if I don't feel obligated to stay in the game because it's that good, I'll rack up here, walk over to the Bellagio, and jump in the 500 cap 2-5 over there. We've definitely been on a bit of a heater here, I'm sure you've noticed if you've been watching the videos, but each session is an independent variable, so there's no reason we can't just go in there and crush it tonight. Alright, I got some interesting hands for you from this session. First one up on the camera, it's pocket eights on the button. Pretty basic. No one really knows what I'm doing at the table yet, so I'm going to go ahead and come in for a little bit bigger than normal open. It's a 1-3 table with a few limpers. I make it $18. I get one caller in mid position over there. Flop comes 6-10 ace rainbow. I really should go ahead and bet about $25 to $30 here, close to pot size bet. And as it turns out in this hand, if I did that, I would have taken it down right here. But I have a tendency to check flops, so I check. He leads on a 9 of spades turn. It feels like maybe he picked up the flush draw or something. It's such a weak lead. I decided to take one off, and I'll be calling some rivers, but the river's a king of diamonds and he checks again. I don't want to really bet at this point. I think he's got a lot of weak aces. I think they call as played. I check behind and he hit Broadway on the river. He turned open-ended with the jack queen, and that's what his bet was with. And then bam. Hit the river, hit the nuts, and checked. And I check behind and lose. I must warn you, the frustration continues on this hand. 10-10. And we open up for $10 and get one caller. The flop is great. 3 sixes. I flopped the boat. This is the winning hand. I'm definitely going to bet here. Not too much. I make it 15. And he makes the call, which screams a hand like 5s or 7s, 3s. So when the queen comes out on the turn, I'm definitely betting again. I make it, I think 20 on this turn. He should never have hands with queens in them. Very rarely ace-queen. He makes the call. The river is the deuce, and I feel so strongly I should value bet again when he checks, because he almost always has just a smaller pair here. But I do decide to check behind. I still think I should have bet. And he flips over queen 8. So he called that flop with queen high. No draw. Bing to the turn, and then got no value on the river. we are a couple hours in here at the Aria. I'm in the game for 500, so I'm down 201 right now. I don't feel like I'm playing really good. The table's pretty good, but it's been a bad thing because there's some really sticky spots, and I've been building pots with a lot of equity, like mid-pair, nut flush draw, and straight draw flush draws. Pretty much bricking everything, and then I'm left with not much of an option, even in position, because these guys are calling really light for just about any amount. So the potential's there. I'm just going to get back in the game, really try to focus, play my A game, see if we can dig this one out of the trenches a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to devour this delicious Forager pizza from 550, and I'm going to feel a lot better.
Back from the pizza break, feeling recharged, ready to get something going, gotta focus, gotta play better. I'm only sitting in a few hands before this kind of crazy setup happens. I pick up Queen, and I open. I believe I opened, or I might have raised like an early position, like $9 opener or something. And this guy with the big stack on my left, he's an aggressive player. We've played together before. He can play fast and bluffy, but generally knows to play more solid against me. He makes it like 45 or something pre-flop, and I'm not super happy about my queens anymore, but I do make the call, and the flop comes out 10 of diamonds, ace of diamonds, king of diamonds. I check, and he just jams all in for like 500. And I think I have about 240, 250 behind at this point. I look down, I do have the queen of diamonds. I'm pretty sure this has got to be a call. It sucks because if you watch my videos, I like to build spots on later streets, really get a strong feel for where I'm at in the hand and where I can squeeze value and what I can represent. I don't take a lot of these just big flyers pre-flop or on the flop where I'm all in, especially when I know I have a hand that's beat. But sometimes the way it breaks down with the odds, you have to call with the hand that's beat just because the equity you have of drawing. And if I think he can have ace-king, definitely not ace-10, but if I think he can have ace-king here, then my queens are still alive. If he can have tens here, my queens are still alive. It does feel a lot like ace-king. I make the call. Miracle Jack of clubs on the turn. But he flips over pocket aces for a set of aces, so I still need to fade the paired board on the river. We do fade it. I scoop a big pot right there, and we're right back in the game. Alright, last hand of the night for me. I decided I'm going to get it on camera for you guys. I'm going to play it fast. I don't care what it is. This could blow up in my face. Or it could be entertaining. So I open with this queen of diamonds, deuce of diamonds, in fairly early position for $9. I get one caller. Don't do this, by the way. Just fold this hand. Don't even limp it ever. But definitely don't bring it in for a raise. You can play much better stuff, like even 5-7, 7-9 is just a much better choice here. But I do get a caller. The flop is ace-6-10 with two spades. I check, and he bets 15. Obviously, you should be a check fold, but wait 1 second. For the sake of the video, and just to play around with this one, let's turn our hand into ace-jack of spades. The risk we run in doing this is actually repping the hand that our opponent might have, which is ace-x of spades. But I don't think he would have bet the flush draw here. Maybe the flush draw with two overs. But I don't think he would have bet the flush draw here. I think he would have checked behind, just this particular player. And so we're going to check call with our now improved ace-jack of spades.
Ace on the turn. Perfect. Definitely going to lead here. What else am I going to do with nut flush draw, top pair? I definitely want to lead here. Seem kind of value-ish. I make it 20. I think I'm going to win it here a lot of the times. But he does make the call. Interesting. He's not buying the ace half of my story. Alright, we do bink the spade on the river. Yes, nut flush. Still want to look semi-value-y. Definitely going to lead again. Stick to my story. Bet 45. And he mucks pretty quickly. We take it down and realize I shouldn't be playing like this and we should call it a night. 5 hours, 23 minutes. Calling it a night. Grab some more pizza to bring home for the significant other. And we're going to be up exactly 140. Looks like more, but we were in the hole a few hundred for some add-ons there.
Alright, dug out of the hole and booked a little win. Was there ever any doubt? Yes, I had a little doubt this time. It's been running really hot. When that happened, you start looking around to the sky, wondering when the hammer is just going to drop out and smash on your head. But hasn't happened yet. Let's see how long we could dodge that thing for.
Thanks again, everyone, for watching. Hit the like button down below. Leave a comment. Feel free to talk about the episode or any questions you might have. We've actually been gaining a lot of subscribers a lot faster than I had ever expected here lately. So that's really cool, and it's definitely got me thinking. So we come up on 1,000 subscribers. I definitely want to do something cool, and I don't really have a plan yet, but I've got some ideas spinning around in here. It's going to be some sort of giveaway or something. I want to involve the actual audience and the subscribers, and I think that's going to be a really fun thing to do. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I got an episode coming out in just a couple days where I have kind of a major life change thing going on. That's why I'm so presentable right now. Something I'm really excited about, and it's actually going to be the focal point of the next episode. What's going on? What's the big deal? I will show you in just a couple days. Stay tuned.